and get a lot of poses out of the character just by grabbing a whole bunch of targets and scrolling them all at once, and then be able to tweak them from there. So you can get quite a funny faces going just with that. What I've also done is I've also used the pen attribute holder to set up a pose capture system that allows you to be able to pose capture your poses on the fly during animation as you make poses to say, hey, I want to keep those. And it's actually even a layered approach to it where I can actually go to any given layer of controls, say this layer of controls for the mouth, and just dial in a specific set of the character. So let's get started on building this system, and I'll show you how it all works. To start building the rig for this character, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the jawbone. The jawbone makes it really easy to set up and get nice jaw rotations so that we can get a nice fluid jaw motion. And then we're going to build morph targets on top of that. So part of the control panel rig you saw in the previous section was just driving the rotations of a joint. To handle that, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a bone. We're going to pick the place at which the bone should pivot, which is right up in front of the ear for where your top of your jaw meets the skull. I'm not going to make the bone that large. We'll make it a lot smaller. And we'll set a joint down. And what we want to do is we also want to make sure that this joint is zeroed out. Now again, we can do that with list controllers, but the actual parent space rotations still wouldn't be zeroed out. We want to parent this up to the head joint. The best way to make sure that our rotations are starting at a true 000 value is to actually put in a point helper and align it to the jawbone, and then parent that point helper into the head and the jawbone to the point helper. And that will ensure that things are all lined up the way they're supposed to be and working as you'd expect. What I'm going to do is just make up a point helper in this case, and I'm going to use the align tool and align this in position and orientation to the jawbone. And then I'm going to take the jawbone, link it to the point helper, and the point helper to the head. And now we've actually got a true 000 rotation on this jawbone. We can see that in the motion panel, and you can see value of X, Y, and Z are all currently 000. So that's the first step, because we want everything to be based off that zero starting point. And next thing we need to do is we need to actually go in and skin this jawbone up to the skin the head up to the jawbone, and make sure we have a nice deformation going on so that we open the jaw, that the mouth opens very smooth and very flexibly. Now we'll weight the mesh to the jawbone that we've added, and that can be done. The skin modifier, I'm going to use the right click option for add bone so that it adds just the one that I've selected. I'm going to sub object here, and we really need some animation on it first, so I'm just going to actually skip back out of sub object and animate the head rotating back so we can see the stretch happening on the neck. And I'm actually going to animate the jaw rotating down, and so that we can actually go about seeing a bit of what's happening. We can see how it's stretching the mouth open as well as how it's affecting the neck. So back in the skin modifier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select with the jawbone selected. I'm going to select a whole bunch of the polygons, the vertices, sorry, that are in the jaw area and the mouth area, and start working out which vertices are going to get weighted directly to it. And I'm just basically going to do a hard weight to start with select vertices option turned on. I'm just going to go into the marquee selection tool, and I'm going to select an area that I'm going to work with, and I'm just going to use the absolute weighting tool and weight that up as a value of 1, and now I can stretch that up, and you can see the mess that's starting to happen essentially as it rips and tears the model. And now what we can do is we can go in and we can specifically weight some more. So I'm actually going to grab